What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy, CamATL, and welcome back to another MLB High Five video with your boy. Drop a like down below because I already know you're going to love it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and comment anything in the comments section down below to enter your name into the $50 giveaway that I do every single week on this channel. All right, I will be announcing the winner for this week on Monday. All right, so this is your last video opportunity to get your comment in for you to be able to get your name entered to that $50 giveaway. All right. Last night was amazing once again. We have been extremely hot in baseball DFS. It has been amazing, and we just want to continue that streak up leading into NFL. And as NFL goes, we want to continue smashing it then as well. So really, we're just trying to stack up, get prepared for NFL. NFL is going to be a big season for us. Go grab that season-long membership at greenlightdfs.com for NFL. It is available on the site right now. And yeah, greenlightdfs.com to join the squad for MLB DFS. We've been dominating. Greenlightbets.com had a huge night last night. I gave 2 free bets away on Twitter. And then the other 3 I gave to my premium VIP members also won. So we went 5-0. Anybody who parlayed those 5 games made some major money last night. So Greenlight Bets has been smashing. We're up to around 68 to 70% win rate on the bet. So it's been fantastic. So yeah, make sure you join greenlightbets.com. If you're in a state that can bet on games, take advantage that Greenlight is doing bets now as well. Play DFS, play the bets, and be able to, make a little extra money every night. And then GLDbreaks.com today. Donruss Clearly Basketball is dropping. 2020-21 Donruss Clearly Basketball is dropping. That clearly is a cool ass product. It's cards that are clear, see-through, which is really, really, really cool. We will have that brand new product available. As you guys know, I go live at 7 p.m. Central. I will be live breaking those boxes today. I believe I'll have 2. I'm not 100% sure how many I'll have. I believe I'll probably have 2 of those. So once I announce on Twitter at cam_ATL, when those are available at gldbreaks.com, I encourage y'all to go grab your spots as quickly as possible so you don't miss out. All right, because it will fly by. We're also stocking up on a whole bunch of new stuff that has been huge hits with everybody. Court Kings is beautiful product. We'll be getting multiple of that. Absolute Baseball's fire. Anyways, if you're into cards, gldbreaks.com, plain and simple. All right. Let's go ahead and get straight into this high five, y'all. I'm not going to waste too much of your time. Let's get in and out. Let's get it. Starting off at pitching, I'm going to go. I like Zach Wheeler and Joe Musgrove. Now, Zach Wheeler, both times against Atlanta at home, and Philly has destroyed them, getting 39 in both games. Okay, he struck out 10 in the first one, 12 in the second one. All right, he has done amazing at home in Philly against Atlanta. This is Atlanta squad without Acuna, without Ozuna, obviously. This is a watered-down Atlanta lineup, and this is a great spot here for Zach Wheeler to once again have an amazing game. So I love Wheeler as of right now. 9-8, I'm perfectly fine with that. There's a ton of value on this slate, so when it comes to bats, there's a ton of value, and I'll talk about them in a little bit, but we have a lot of super cheap value today, so I wouldn't be totally against going Garrett Cole paired with Wheeler, or just spending up big time for both pitchers, because the upside Garrett Cole possesses. Boston is a very tough matchup for him, but that upside Garrett Cole has is huge. So in GPPs, I wouldn't be against going Cole with another top pitcher, just seeing that we have a lot of cheap value bats that have a lot of power and great spots, and we'll talk about them in a little bit. Joe Musgrove going against Miami. Now, Joe Musgrove hasn't been his elite self like he was the first 4 starts of the season. I mean, the dude got 53 DraftKings points against Texas in the beginning of the year. I mean, he struck out 10. He was amazing. Allowed 0 hits. He had a no-hitter against Texas early on this year. He hasn't been pitching like that same guy as of late. All right, I will say that. He hasn't. He's gotten his last 4 performances, 4 DraftKings points, 4, 15, and 1. His last 4. That is not very exciting. Before that, he had been pretty damn consistent the entire year. But what we know is Musgrove's got some big-time upside. He feels pretty damn safe in this matchup in a pitcher-friendly ballpark in Miami. Miami is watered down big time. They're without Garrett Cooper. They're without Jazz Chisholm, who has been smashing for Miami. So you take these big time bats out for Miami, it makes that lineup even more watered down, and Musgrove should have an easy-ish time here. Vegas agrees. Vegas only has Miami's implied total at like 3.8, which is pretty damn low, one of the lowest on the slate. Joe Musgrove just feels really, really good to me. San Diego should easily be able to get the W as well against Zach Thompson. So I really like this spot here. I think he ends up hitting value, and I think he ends up getting the W bonus as well. All right, let's talk bats. First off, at first base, there was a couple guys I really liked here. All right, I'm going to start with Josh Bell. Josh Bell really sticks out to me today. He's got a ton of power at only 4K. I love Washington. Washington really sticks out as a great stack for me because Lopez gives up a lot of power to lefties. All right, and the problem here with the problem is where Lopez is going to struggle is that he's facing a Josh Bell who has a 241 ISO versus right-handed pitching. Has a good history against Lopez already. The implied total for Vegas has Washington up there with the top teams of the night. I love this spot for Josh Bell. I mean, like I said, you're getting exposure to one of the better bats, one of the better, bigger power bats on this Washington offense, in a beautiful spot against a pitcher who gives up too much power to lefties. It's a great spot to Josh Bell. I really, really like him. And so definitely get some exposure to him. Another guy that I really liked in this spot was Miguel Cabrera as well at first base. Cabrera is just another one of the many values that we have on this slate. You got Miguel Cabrera facing a lefty. Let me go to him real quick. Miguel Cabrera is going against Bubik, the lefty. He's only 2.7. Throughout his entire career, he has been elite versus lefties. He's got a 341 batting average versus lefties. He's just ridiculous versus left-handed pitching, and their implied totals up there with the top of the night too. So Miguel Cabrera is 100% usable value. I was gonna go Miguel Cabrera, but really there's a couple other values I love as well. So I figured, you know what, I'll go Bell, who I also love here, and just put the value where I have the other value guys. But to be honest with you, I love Miguel Cabrera today, facing the righty with the righty lefty matchup against Bubik, and it gets better. The wind's blowing out to left at 8 miles an hour. The only downside about Miguel Cabrera is Kansas City is number one in the league against right-handed bats, their bullpen. So once Bubik gets messed around, the people who come in after aren't necessarily bad. Okay, it's not a great matchup after that. Okay, so we would pretty much need Miguel Cabrera in company to do damage in the beginning before the bullpen starts coming in and doing pretty well against these righties. So Miguel Cabrera, love his situation going against Bubik. He's got a fantastic matchup. The only down thing that you can possibly say here is that Kansas City's bullpen is number one against right-handed bats in the league. Okay, they're pretty damn good. So just keep that in consideration. But Miggy is a great option. I wanted to mention him because I felt bad if I didn't. In the outfield, we got more value, y'all. Solaire. You guys know how I feel about Solaire, man. And I'll fix that, by the way. That's not supposed to be like that. That's more like, let me see. That's more about 9.5 or so. I really like Solaire today. I love his spot here against Peralta. The wind is blowing out to left at 8 miles per hour, which is great for righty power. The implied total, like I said, in this game in general, both sides, the implied total is extremely high. Both sides are expected to put up some runs. KC's implied total is like 5.3, something like that. So for a guy who's 2.8, who's going to bat in the heart of the Kansas City offense, and one of the highest totals on the slate, with as much power as he possesses versus righties, 258 ISO versus righties. Dude's got major power. Now, Peralta hasn't been like a gas can or anything. He hasn't been horrible at all. Okay? But this spot is just A1. Vegas thinks Peralta gets knocked around today, and I tend to agree here. And at 2.8 is too cheap for the power that Solaire possesses. Last couple games, too, he's been fantastic. All right, last two games, he's gotten 16 and 14. He's got a home run in both his last two games. Dude's too cheap, plain and simple. Great value. Another guy who's just way too cheap is Austin Hayes. Austin Hayes has the righty-lefty matchup against Corbin. Hayes has done well versus Corbin throughout the history so far. He's not a guy who's got a ton of pop in his bat or anything, but he hits pretty consistently. 281 batting average versus lefties on average. And once again, this Baltimore implied total's up there at 5.2 range. It's up there. So obviously Vegas sees the same thing that I was thinking. And I'm believing that Austin Hayes at 2.8 is just way too cheap, righty-lefty, batting at the top of this Baltimore order. He's just been pretty damn solid throughout the entire year. So I'm expecting big things out of Austin Hayes as well. And like I said, that sums it up pretty much. I mean, I told you guys there's so much value on this slate today. All right, you've got Miguel Cabrera, who's at first base, who's an option today at like 2.9. You've got Solaire at 2.8, Hayes at 2.8. You've got a ton of guys that I love under 3K today. It's gonna be a a good one. I think there's gonna be big scores put up tonight. So But yeah, today definitely seems like one of those ideal days where you focus on getting your pitching right. Don't worry about bats to start the day. Figure that out after, because you have the ability to get any pitchers you want. All right? Literally, salary wise, it's not a problem. You have the ability to get any pitching that you want. So take your time, get the pitching that you want, and then figure the bats out because trust me, you're going to have great prices down here that you can make work. All right? But Zach Wheeler, Joe Musgrove, Josh Bell, Solaire, and Hayes. And like I said, it's perfectly serviceable if you decide to go something like this. You know what I mean? You still got plenty of money. Look at that, 41.20 remaining per player, and I'm spending up for Josh Bell and not Miguel Cabrera. So just to give you an idea of how this is. So yeah, man, we're gonna smash tonight. I'm loving this slate already. I really am. It's so beautiful. All right, here we go. Pitching. Let's check these. Let's check out what we got here. We got Musgrove at 7.9, which seems pretty damn cheap. Let's go ahead and put him in as the core. As always, though, guys, I like getting my pitcher right. Yesterday was great. Sean Manaea as our pitcher on FanDuel smacked at a cheap price. Sometimes that happens for you. So, and this seems like another spot like that. I mean, like I said, Miami's already an offense that you pretty much like to pick on. But now you take out Jazz Chisholm, one of their better bats. Garrett Cooper's out. A lot of guys are out for that Miami offense. It's a great spot for Musgrove to really shine in at 3.9. 7.9 is just too damn cheap. Let's check hitters. I want to get a piece of Miguel Cabrera today, so I'm going to put Miggy in the core over here on FanDuel because he's 2.6, and I figured he'd be way too cheap. Solaire, Avi. Oh my god, yeah. I mean, dude, we're gonna have anybody we want, y'all. Let's see. Josh Bell 3.1. My bad. Josh Bell at 3.1 is solid option. Let's see who else we got. Let's go ahead and spend up for a bat. Let's see. Who's the optimizer like the most when it comes to bats? It's got Will Smith really, really high. Let me see. Which is too high. I'm going to have to bring that down. Let's go ahead and go Trey Turner. I talked about loving Washington, and I love Trey Turner today as well. So it's a great spot for that Washington offense, and this is a nice little core that I like. Joe Musgrove, Trey Turner, Solaire, and Miguel Cabrera. Miggy's just too cheap, man. I wanted to get him somewhere. Plain and simple. Thank you guys for joining me as always. Let's get it. Greenlightdfs.com to join the squad. Come join us, man. Just because it's baseball season and a lot of people just don't play DFS as much does not mean you don't need to just come get some easy money. I mean, most of the time, baseball's been some pretty easy money all year. So MLB DFS has been dominating. So greenlightdfs.com to join that. Greenlightbets.com for the game bets. Don't miss out anymore on that. It's almost 70% win rate over there. That's ridiculous. Plain and simple. So stop missing out on that. Go to greenlightbets.com, join up for that. Go grab you a weekly package so you don't got to worry about it and you can just lock in. It's incredibly cheap. It's like $25 for 7 days of my game bets, which is extremely cheap. You compare that to other people, it's like other people are like $100. Like it's a major difference. See, I'm just trying to, help people out for, I already got Greenlight DFS. I don't need to be sitting here going crazy charging crazy amounts like all these other people are doing. I'm trying to, I'm already doing my studying for Greenlight DFS, so I'm able to get a really deep look into these slates and have a good idea of who I'm expecting to do well just off stats and numbers behind the scenes. And that's deeper than a lot of these bet guys tend to go. So it's something that's definitely helped our win rate stay up high in the bets level. So greenlightbets.com if you're in a state that can bet on games, and then gldbreaks.com. And we got an exciting Friday ahead of us, y'all. If you're interested in getting in the sports cards, tonight is the night to join our live show at 7 p.m. Central on this channel. All right. Thank you guys for joining me as always, and I'm out.